This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Due to social constraint, it is still a long distance away from gender equality.
Hi there, good evening. Yes, the tenure of President Pratibha Patil ended today. When she became president in 2007, she was hailed as India's first woman president. But did the first woman president fail to use her office to make gender justice a national priority? Could she have done much more to put gender squarely center stage at a time when crimes against women are increasing exponentially? In the ultimate analysis, did Pratibha Patil fail India's women? That's the question we're exploring tonight. First, a report on Pratibha Patil from Arunima.
From the demure sari-clad surprise candidate of UPA-1 to the confident Sukhoi flying commander-in-chief of the armed forces, Pratibha Devi Singh Patil, India's first woman president, has rewritten history. But the 77-year-old's tenure has also been mired in controversies. June 2007, a Jalgaon congressman's wife claimed that Pratibha Patil's brother, G.N. Patil, murdered her husband, Vishram G. Patil. She accused Pratibha Patil of shielding her brother. The same month, a women's cooperative bank became insolvent, allegedly after it was forced to waive off loans to Patil's relatives. Even Patil's son, Rajendra Shekhawat, has been accused of misusing her post to wrongly acquire NCC land in Amravati for a college promoted by him. March 2012 saw over 1 crore in cash allegedly recovered from Shekhawat's car on the eve of Amravati's municipal elections. The same month, an RTI query revealed that Patil undertook trips to 22 foreign countries, the most by any president, accompanied sometimes by several family members. The trips cost the exchequer close to 205 crore. But the biggest controversy of them all was the retirement home fiasco of April this year. An RTI query revealed that Patil was allotted defence land in Pune for a bungalow, the size of which was 6 times more than she was eligible for. Patil was eventually forced to give up the bungalow. Even though Afzal Guru's mercy plea is still pending, government officials point out that Pratibha Patil has commuted 35 death sentences, the maximum by any president. In New Delhi, Arunima.
The controversy surrounding outgoing President Pratibha Patil. Now, on the eve of demitting office tomorrow, Pratibha Patil addressed the nation this evening on Doordarshan. Let's bring you some of her comments on women.
It is a matter of deep distress that even today, social evils that stagnate the growth of our country in so many ways continue to exist. Dowry and child marriage, the practice of female feticide and female infanticide, which are causing a lopsided gender ratio. Instances of violence against women are very disturbing. These are totally unacceptable. Women contribute to building a more decent and compassionate society, as the feeling of caring and nurturing is inherent in their nature.
Feeling of caring and nurturing inherent in their nature. Is Pratibha Patil disconnected from the urgent issues facing the Indian woman? And has she failed to use her presidency to leverage it for a moral direction towards women's justice? Joining us tonight, Meenakshi Lekhi, advocate and National Vice President of the BJP Mahila Morcha. Joining us, Dr. Ranjana Kumari, Director of Center for Social Research. Joining us, Vinita Deshmukh, Senior Journalist and RTI activist, someone who wrote those series of articles on the land acquisition by the president for her post-retirement home, that land that she has now surrendered, and Alka Lamba of the Congress, who was recently in the news for her visit to Guwahati. Let's kick it off by asking you, Pratibha Patil's last day today, did India's first woman president fail India's women. Ranjana Kumari, we played those comments for you of Pratibha Patil's last speech where she said violence is increasing against women, women are caring, there is the problem of female infanticide. Now, these seem like very cliched, very platitudinous formulations, the usual formulations that are mentioned in every ministry and every official note. Has Pratibha Patil missed a very valuable opportunity in leveraging her presidency to bringing gender justice center stage at a time when it is so crucial to India?
Well, Sagarika, let's look at the whole issue from the perspective of the total system and the role of a president. I think she started, and as far as her personal, presence is concerned, she conducted herself gracefully. She has been very, very firm on many occasions when she delivered the message to the nation. But then the prism of, being non-controversial, being passive as a president, so you can't really do things proactively. You have to be, acting on the aid and advice of the government. All that, I think, somehow surrounded her in such a manner. And also family. As a woman, the family really surrounded her. We all know that. We all know that, family becomes sometimes, so much overwhelming for us that it's very difficult to disconnect and do things as independent human being as men can do it, perhaps. Having said that, I think that three of these issues which we really started off on the note of hope: one, women's reservation bill; two, her own passionate agenda of National Mission for Empowerment of Women; and third one is declining sex ratio. I think she started off these three issues in a manner in which even governor's meeting was called, Justice Paul had, a committee was constituted to do something. But at the end of it, where are we? Not a single meeting of National Mission for Empowerment of Women has been held where all the cabinet ministers were members, and some of us, including me, happened to be the member. In fact, no less than a person herself personally called me and told me that, you have to do something really big and good for the women of this country. That is why I am nominating you to the National Mission for Empowerment of Women. But not a single meeting took place. Okay, what about declining sex ratio? The division remains a 2.5 bureaucrat department with 22 crore budget, and nothing really happened. Never there was a discussion about. And third is women's reservation bill. That disheartens me the most because being part of that struggle from day one, I feel that we really pinned our hope on our president when she made speeches to the parliament, the joint session of the parliament every time the issue was brought in. And as we hear that every month she met Prime Minister. But was there any discussion why the bill is waiting, why it is pending? And also I feel that,
I think you make a good point.
Kalam,
exactly, that was the point I was coming to. You saw the manner in which Kalam actually innovated the office of the presidency and made his Vision 2020 and science and technology center stage. But Meenakshi Lekhi of the BJP, should we blame Pratibha Patil? As Ranjana Kumari is saying, she was limited by the constitutional mandate. After all, what can a president do? It is a ceremonial role. The president cannot do much beyond simply sound the right notes.
No, I don't agree with this because within the constitution, though president's office is a very, very important office, and it's up to the president to remain a rubber stamp or choose to do something and innovate himself or herself. As in this case, we were all having high hopes from a lady president and thinking that, okay, India has arrived, and with the presence of a lady president, we will get a few agendas passed. Now, as Ranjana was explaining, that three notes she started and failed to execute any one of them. On the contrary, her tenure is marred with all kind of financial irregularities in the cooperative bank, in the sugar mill, and the report which was read out by Arunima, two things were missing. One was about the sugar mill and about the land which was adjacent to the plot where her husband was running a college, and how that was usurped, and how a High Court order from Nagpur was brought in, that MP-led scheme, the money will not be touched, and then it was kept from 19 1997 till 2007, and till she arrived at the position and got the land use change and brought it under the district, and Ravinder Jadhav even went to the extent of giving it away. So these are the, if you can use your office for personal benefit, then I call it political corruption. And if you use the office for the benefit of public, and especially if you represent the women, then it is for social use. Now, the role of a president definitely is somebody who inspires people. Now, I think Pratibha Patil missed out an opportunity where she could have inspired the women of this country, where she could have brought in certain changes, she could have enforced a vision, how they want women empowerment, and in fact, another very interesting thing is that all the 35 petitions which she has signed, she could have chosen to send it back to the government, even if her hand was being forced, which she chose to sign. Now, those are the petitions.
These are the 35 mercy petitions. Right, the mercy petitions that she has commuted to life imprisonment. Right. Let me just quickly get in Alka Lamba. Let me just get in Alka Lamba to respond to you, Meenakshi. Respond to what Meenakshi Lekhi is saying, that she has actually damaged the credibility of women in high office by using office for family reasons, for personal reasons, land grabbing, the controversial allegations. It seems as if she has given a bad name almost to women who occupy these positions.
Sagarika, it's up to us how we are looking at this. I have a glass, it's a half empty or a half full. Maybe my friend from BJP is seeing it's a half empty, but I'm saying the glass is half full, because you are expecting a first women president. She herself created a history in more than 65 years of Indian democracy. She is the first woman who achieved to be the president of this country. And if you ask me, is she inspired the women or not? Ask me, because I'm working for the female feticide, I'm working for the dowry and child marriages, and I used to give the example of first women president of India, Pratibha Patil. Before, we used to say, if you abort your girl child, then maybe tomorrow we are losing Kalpana Chawla or Sunita Williams. Now we are also giving the example.
So she was an important symbol, and an important icon.
She's very important, and we are expecting the 5 years tenure of the first women president of India, and parallelly we are expecting expectations of the 50 lakh women of this country. You know, you can't fulfill the expectation of everybody, but I am sure she tried her best to address the issues like women reservation bill. She showed her political willpower.
Right.
But as you know,
but Meenakshi just responded that she responds. I'm just going to get Vinitha in just a bit. I just wanted to get to you to respond that she did embody a very important symbol. You could go to villages, you could go to towns and saying, look, we have a woman president. Value your girl child.
I think symbolism has to go beyond the deeds, and a symbolic person could have used her office in visiting villages, in visiting girl students, in empowering them, but she chose to visit countries which are 22 countries, over 12 foreign trips and all kinds of things, and 205 crores which is being spent on foreign trips. I think if this money was spent in the country,
but
it would have the symbolism would have gone beyond, and
as a woman should travel across the country and addressing each and individual 50 lakh population of our women, then it's not practical. It's you and me. It's responsibility not of the highest office of the country. It's the responsibility of the women like you and me. Take her masses, take her program to the ground. Because you are saying her as a president, maybe she can be, the Aparna Mukherjee can be the president, candidate of the Congress, but now she was not the president of the Congress. She was the president of this country, and we have to see at her in that way. But you, till today, it seems you are treating her as the president of, not of India, as the president of Congress. That is the thing I think.
Women's rights,
that's how she behaved. That's how she conducted herself. And this is exactly what she did. She thought this is a picnic time. This is not a time to work work for the country.
No,
she was
that's
having
for my BJP friend. That's very easy to tell her that she was enjoying and she was having a best time as a picnic. But you have to, as I mentioned, you have to see the glasses half full as well. Why you are not addressing the issues which she really addressed? Like I'm saying, the dowry, the child marriage, and the female feticide kind of that. Why you are not addressing that?
She did nothing.
Why you are targeting her
except out Nehru Gandhi family? She has had zilch achievement.
Okay, she has had zilch achievement. Let me bring in Vinita Deshmukh here. Vinita Deshmukh, you are the journalist who has in fact filed all those series of stories on that 2,42,000 square foot of land that was being given to President Pratibha Patil for her retirement home, and there was such an outcry about it because of your stories that she has then had to surrender the land. Do you feel that such allegations, such controversies, as Meenakshi Lekhi is pointing out, have damaged someone very important, our first woman president?
Yeah, firstly, I think as the President of India, somebody is trying to say that, she's created history. Well, it would be good if she had not created such a history at all, because she was all set to start a precedence of having a huge luxurious home when the President of India is only eligible for an existing government bungalow of 2,500 square feet. And it was only because of stories filed in Money Life through the RTI documents that I procured that she was compelled to return the land. Otherwise, probably she would have got away with it. Somebody just mentioned about the women's hostels that she has constructed. But for very curious reasons, all successive Congress governments have magnanimously funded her in terms of land and construction of hostels. And besides that, these hostels are funded for women who do not have salary more than 16,000 rupees per month, and 25% of them have to be occupied by the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe women. But all the 4 hostels do not follow those norms. So wherever she has put her foot in, whether as a President of India, whether as an MLA or a minister or a governor, she has always shown that she is more important, that personal gratification is more important to her than any public good. And as has been rightly mentioned, the Women's Reservation Bill, she could have passed it in the Lok Sabha by way of initiating a consensus among political parties.
No, but how could she have passed it? How could she possibly have?
Female feticide is of no use, and grabbing prime land, defense land,
but Vinita,
in the Pune station of Southern Command headquarters, the officers and jawans.
But Vinita, let me put to you, let me put to Meenakshi. Meenakshi, a number of allegations are being made.
Can I come in for a second, because you are conducting a very ill-informed debate.
Carry on.
This is not the President's role to create consensus to vote for Women's Reservation Bill.
That's the point I was about to make.
What we are trying to say is that she could have taken the government's report back to her, and she could have gone out of the way. We're not defending. She was the first women president. She could have gone out of the way.
First, they need to understand the role of the president. First, they need to understand.
Yes, I think this is little ill-informed that she is thinking that she could have passed.
Their expectations are very high.
The agenda that were taken up were from a high hope. We started.
She could have set a moral direction. No, Ranjana, she could have absolutely. She could have set a moral direction, and she could have inspired. I think that's where the issue is. But we are going to have to run into a break. Let's come back and put to Meenakshi Lekhi and Vinita Deshmukh whether they're being too critical of President Pratibha Patil. Many of the allegations against her have not been proven. Many of these cases happened before she became president, and maybe she did take a number of initiatives that were not reported on in the media. Is that a fact? Let's come back and talk about that. Last last day of President Pratibha Patil, we're asking, did the first woman president of India in the ultimate analysis fail India's women? Respond to what Meenakshi Lekhi was saying, what Vinita was saying, that she failed to inspire. The controversies against her damaged the credibility of women in high office, and she failed to give a moral direction, you know, to the office of the president. As the first woman, she failed to provide that moral direction towards gender justice issues.
See, I'm not absolutely agree with these two friends, and I just want to say that the allegation these two women are putting on live on a national channel, did these allegations proved yet? No, these are just the allegations. They don't have any proof, and any you know, the case is going on somewhere, or it's going to be proven that it's all I think just allegation which they are very confidently putting, and I think this is very harsh to the outgoing women president.
She's being judged too harshly.
Too harsh, I think. Okay. And they are just the allegation. And you are asking, is she inspired? Me. She is not able to inspire these my two friends on the channel. But if you ask me, ask the women in the rural area who are really fighting for the feminicide kind of issues. We are giving the example of the first woman president of India, and I'm telling you, she is maybe not very media-friendly president. She is not coming out every time whatever she was doing and trying her best.
Okay.
You know,
let me put that to
Meenakshi Lekhi. Every time she used to call the press and addressing what she's trying her best. She was behind the, I will say behind, not addressing the media, but Meera Kumar, the Speaker of the House, also mentioned during her farewell speech the issues she has taken up and took a very strong stand. And very soon, I think maybe not during her tenure, but the issue she has taken, soon you will see the results of that.
Okay, Meenakshi Lekhi, respond to that point about the media that Alka of the Congress is making, that in fact she may have done a lot. There was a report, I know, that she commissioned on women by a very senior justice of the Supreme Court. There may be a number of initiatives that she could have taken which didn't have the media glare, didn't have media attention. She was not media savvy, not high profile. Perhaps that's why she suffered.
No, I don't think the President of India needs to be media savvy. It's the office which works for her is definitely media savvy. When you can go and attend to all kinds of functions and foreign offices and foreign nations, and all that gets covered, then every other deed can also get covered, provided you have done it. Now, in this case, one allegation which Alka tried to make was that these are allegations and have not been proved. Now, I want to ask Alka, has the cooperative bank, where RBI order is there, where 17 crore misappropriation by virtue of giving loans which have not been recovered is factually incorrect? Whether her son was caught with some money during municipal corporation election, whether her son in fact acquired that land or did not acquire that land, whether the land adjacent to the college where her own husband is the treasurer and son is running that college is factually incorrect. Now, if this has happened before she became the president,
yes,
how has such person been allowed to be the president? One. The second is, during her tenure in 2007, just 6 weeks before, the land was converted and given up just after her name has been announced. And her foreign trips have happened after she became the president. Right. Apart from that, if all this can get the media glare, I'm sure if she had in fact done some work,
seeing her as just as a woman, as an individual, these all allegations. But if you ask, as a woman president of India, she is not addressing anything. That's all about her personal allegations, and
these are personal allegations.
I don't think if the Chief Election Commission considered this allegation and having proved, she will be not able to file the nomination for the president of India.
Okay, many of them are in the realm of allegation. Many of them are in the realm of allegation.
Election Commission has functioned.
Okay, let me give it to Ranjana Kumari. Ranjana Kumari, in the ultimate analysis, are we better off with having Pratibha Patil as women as the president of India for 5 years, or is the lot of women really unchanged? And the kind of crimes we're seeing, the kind of oppressions of rights we're seeing, has the woman president really been a woman only in name?
Well, Sagarika, one big opportunity missed, having a women president, first time in history of India. You know, when I compare it with President Kalam and see that how he really used education and reached out to children and became people's president. I think Pratibha Patil's term could have been presidency for gender justice.
She could have.
Women-friendly president. That's what we were looking forward to.
You know,
so
like Narayanan.
Instead of debating all these issues which are non-issues at this moment, when she's just leaving the office, I think the assessment is history would have remembered her as somebody who really stood for gender justice as a woman president. So I think that opportunity certainly we feel having missed, perhaps for her own reasons, and perhaps the way our political system, social system is engineered and geared towards, not delivering to women. So I think both
so it's an opportunity missed.
Let her down or let us
an opportunity
down.
Missed. An opportunity missed. A big opportunity missed. Vinita Deshmukh over there, you've been writing consistently against Pratibha Patil. Do you feel that at the end of the day, she's left you very disillusioned?
One thing good about President Patil having taken up this post was when right to information is at its peak, and it is only because of this hardcore evidence that nobody who wants to defend her can talk about defending her foreign trips as well as Indian tourist center trips, wherein the common man has paid for her, and also the prime defense land which she was trying to grab. And so it is not the question of only allegations.
Right, we're completely out of time.
No, I just
we were completely out of time, unfortunately.
We have many women leaders, many women chief ministers. Out of them, how many women leaders raised up this issue which Mrs. Pratibha Patil addressed?
Okay, that's also a good point.
Tell me one name.
Okay, that's also a good point. There are many women politicians. There are many women politicians. We're completely out of time. There are many women politicians. How many of them take up women's issues? Does Mamata Banerjee, does Mayawati, does Jayalalitha? Very quickly, Meenakshi Lekhi. Very quickly, we're out of time.
None of them, but she being the president, I feel her tenure is more noteworthy by virtue of her expiry date more than what she did on the...
We're going to have to leave it there. We have the highest female feticide death in Rajasthan. Don't forget my BJP friend. During Vasundhara
Raje's time, the highest female feticide. Unfortunately, we are going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Meenakshi Lekhi, Ranjana Kumari, Vinita Deshmukh, Alka Lamba of the Congress. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Did India's first woman president fail India's women? What are you telling us there? 94 years. Thanks for watching Face the Nation.